Welcome, everybody. I'm Camille Sargi, your host today with Just 2 Minutes. And I have Brian here. Brian, you want to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Brian Crum from Relocation. We're a local and long distance moving company based out of Smithfield. We do local moving within Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and we travel all the way down south as far as Florida.
Very cool. So, just 2 minutes, the way this works is we go over and I ask a bunch of random questions for 2 minutes, and I have my timer over here. And then after that, we go into the real estate world, relocation, real estate, have something to do with each other.
Somewhat related, yes.
A little bit, a lot.
Yeah, a lot of a little bit, yes.
So, get the timer ready. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And go. So, Brian, what do you think of snakes?
I think snakes are, that's a great question. People that are snakes or snakes?
I guess both.
I don't like people that are snakes, but I do.
How come?
Well, because you should just be honest and upfront with people and not be a shady snake. But I like snakes? I like to look at snakes. Am I afraid of snakes? I don't know. I guess if you put me in a ring with a python, I might be afraid. But no, I like snakes.
Cool. Have you ever handcuffed someone?
I have.
All right, we'll get into that a little later. Unless you want to say real quick.
Are you looking to get handcuffed today?
Would you win in a fight if you could clone yourself right now? Two of you versus one 20-year-old Brian.
Win a fight. Two of me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm smarter.
What if you could be any animal in the world? What kind of animal would you be?
I would probably be an orangutan.
How come?
I don't know. I like them. They have long arms. They can punch people through windows. Ray Turn Clyde. I don't know. I think they're goofy.
Yeah.
And they're, I don't know. I think they're funny looking, goofy, and people like them. So either a chimp or a chimp or a orangutan. I don't know.
And that's you.
That's me.
Okay. If you had a crap ton of money, what charity would you donate to?
100% kids charities, Hasbro, or Make-A-Wish, things like that. Absolutely.
Very cool. Have you ever carried two people at once?
More than two.
Damn. What?
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's fast.
I know. It's wild. It is wild. What'd you think of the questions?
They're random and I love it.
Yeah, they are. They are random.
That is good. That's right. Gets people thinking right away.
Uh-huh. Me too. I'm like, I sit down, cup of coffee. I'm like, what?
What question?
What weird questions can I get?
You were a
people?
giraffe.
And what's funny is like a lot of times like I'm just super general, and it's cool seeing people answer the way they think I'm asking. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, communication.
Well, not only that, but like your question about which animal would I be? Like, I'm not ready for that. So it's amazing that the first thing that popped in my head was an orangutan. Like, I don't know why, it just did, right? So you're right. Yeah. It's just so random. Yeah. I could have said a lion. I could have said anything. Like I just said orangutan. Like I don't even know why I thought that. It just came right to my head. So the randomness of that was pretty funny.
So Brian, you help people move.
We do. And
I mean, in the real estate world, it's very crucial to have you there because especially when we're buying a home, we want to make sure it's empty. And, I've been with buyers who walk around the house that they're interested in buying and they're like, wow, these people are never going to get all their stuff out. How are they going to get all this stuff out of the house? I look at my parents' house and I'm like, guys, how are you getting all this stuff out of there? So how do you help with that? I know the boxes that are great, but what about the stuff that's not in boxes? How do you guys help with that?
Well, it's either we can do it where it's prearranged, where we're going to come in and box things up for them and package them, or if they're supposed to pack themselves, we always carry extra boxes and materials on the truck. So if they need help packing loose, small items, then we just charge a little bit more for our time and our materials. and then it's fine. We just, add it to it. It just takes a little bit more time. A lot of people don't understand that, small items need to be packed. Not so much. It takes time too. So if we're moving one small item at a time, their bill is going to be exorbitant, but even more so the damage. So if you have things that aren't boxed, we can't take them because they might get damaged, and we'll take the liability for it, which we can't. So we will refuse to take loose items. So we just either tell them to pack them or we'll help pack. But it's not a deal breaker. We can help get it done.
Yeah, and I know like you guys are on a timeline. Like you're scheduling, moving. There's other people in the world moving, and you're helping them. But I'm sure it's tough when you get to a place and they're not, you're like, oh, this is going to be like way more time than we thought it was going to take. What do you do in those situations?
Well, that happens often because people don't understand how much stuff they accumulate over the years. And then when we go to a job, even for us, you walk into a job, the first thing you look at things and your eyes, get wide open, like, oh my God, we're going to be here all day. But in reality, once you get going, once you get a system going, it's usually pretty doable and it's not too bad. But if we do come into a situation where, for example, if people are supposed to purge and get rid of a lot of things, and then we show up and they did not, we have to have that conversation. Do we have to come back another day? Do you want us to work late? We can work with the client and be flexible so everybody's on the same path, the same schedule to make it. But if we have a deadline, we have to call in reinforcement. So like I said, we can come back early the next day and clean it up for them. And there's only so much we can do, but we do the best that, to get them out of there, get the house clean, presentable for the next buyer, which we know that's important. So whatever it takes to do that.
So without giving like pricing details, what's your process in going into a home and figuring out, how much is this project going to cost? And plus, like, what tips can you give this client?
Well, we do two ways. We have flat rate pricing. When you move out of state from Rhode Island to any other state, you have to do a flat rate. So I have to visit the home. We have to estimate how much weight there is. It goes by weight, weight and mileage is how we price it. So I can go in there and say, to move from Rhode Island to Florida, you have X amount of 5,000 pounds. Your price is going to be $5,000. And that's pretty clear cut. As far as local stuff, we do it by the hour. Because you never know, right? There's variables of, we were going to give away our bedroom set. We were going to sell our dining room set. Then we get there the morning of and nobody came through. So they still have those things there. So everything's done by the hour. The more prepared people are, again, boxes packed tightly, boxes labeled, all loose things boxed up. Access to the house is clear and clean, whether it's snow, whether it's, or just things in the way inside the house. The more they are prepared for us, the smoother things go. And it saves them money at the end.
So if they don't have or the capacity for like boxing stuff, how do you do that?
So typically if we pack the boxes, we'll come the day before.
Okay.
So we'll come the day before, we'll pack. So if you're, most cases with homes locally, you're doing a double closing on the same day, right? So we'll come the day before, load up the seller's house. That way the next morning when they do their walkthrough, it's already clean and empty. And then at 12, 1 o'clock when the closing is done, the next day we show up at the new house with their belongings and move it right in. And it takes a lot of stress away from people as well. Instead of, forcing us the day of to hurry up, get out of the house, hurry up, get done, hurry up, we have to empty the house.
That's insane.
And then we have to go sit around for 3 hours while they're at the closing. Now they're paying us to sit around and then hurry up, and they're stressed out. So that relieves all that. There is a small fee to hold your things overnight, but it's still a lot cheaper than
worth the stress.
It's very, very much worth it. Yeah.
I'm always amazed with those same day turnover, or not the same day, but going in the morning of to walk through with the buyer, and everything that was there is completely gone.
Right.
And everything was done the night before.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's good to see the results when you do that and you leave the house nice and clean and untouched and undamaged, and the new people come in and everybody's happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Stay in a hotel,
They can stay in the hotel. Yeah, they should. Stay with family, stay in a hotel. But even that, it's just, I tell people, go away from the hotel for the night, relax, go in the pool, exercise, and just, cause it's very,
relax.
I think moving is top 3 stressful points in your life. So it's, we have to have empathy for that with people because it's very stressful. To us, it's easy and we do it every day, but it's very stressful.
Yeah, it is for sure. I mean, I've done it 5 times in the last 10 years.
Crazy, right?
As a realtor,
we like people like you, but we
and
like people like you. You're our best friends.
Nice, thank you. So, are you connected to any donation companies around where you're like, oh, this couch, like, well, I don't want it. How am I going to?
We're not connected per se to any one particular outfit, but I would do the due diligence, and I ask clients all the time if they're trying to get rid of something. I will say, send me a picture. I'll post it on my social media. With anybody in use of a free living room set or a free dining room set, Believe it or not, it's very difficult to even give furniture away nowadays. It's very difficult. And I've had people that throw away very nice, usable furniture because either nobody wants it or they do want it, but they want you to deliver it to them. They don't want to come get it. The charity places a lot of times won't come get it. You have to drop it off. And, sometimes the clients don't want to pay me an extra $500 to donate, some furniture. So they end up just throwing it away. So it is actually pretty sad.
Wow.
If I had a big warehouse that I could store it in and give it away, I would do something like that, but I don't have that capability yet. But it's very hard to get rid of furniture even for free, believe it or not.
Yeah, you can have a warehouse with all this furniture and then be a furniture sales.
It's more for charity than making money on it, But yeah. Whenever we can help people, we do. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So in that situation, you come in to move and they're like, yeah, sorry, I wanted to get rid of this couch, but I couldn't get rid of it. What happens to that couch?
Well, sometimes they'll give it to one of the men on the crew if they need a couch or they need a bed or they need a mattress. They'll ask one of the guys if they'd like it. If not, I make quick phone calls to people. Hey, we have this. Anybody who might want it. And if not, we'll tell the people that we'll take it to the landfill. We take it to a transfer station near the landfill, and we'll just charge them whatever the tipping fees or whatever it costs to dump it. We just bill them for that. So there's always a way to get rid of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the whole process seems very simple and easy.
It is. It's sometimes time consuming and you have to put different parts in different places. But yeah, it's a system. It's not that difficult.
Yeah. So for elderly, they can probably box a bunch of, like a little bit of things, but elderly, there's a lot of history, a lot of like sentimental, valuable things that they don't want to get rid of. And
right.
It's like, all right, I'll put that in the box. I'll keep that in the box and move it again. But this new place I'm moving to, there's no storage. And
that's a great point. We do that a lot, especially with seniors. It's hard to get, when you're attached to things, it's hard to detach yourself. So they want to take, 10 pounds of stuff and put it in a 5-pound bag. And that's time consuming, which costs money. And sometimes you run into problems with that because people say, hey, why are you charging my grandmother, X amount of dollars? And you're like, well, because she had us sitting there going through every box for 10 hours trying to find her little trinket and she couldn't make up her mind. So we did what we had to do, and it's very hard to tell somebody, hey, excuse me, miss, but, time's really building up here. Your bill's going to be expensive. You really need to make a decision because then now they're overwhelmed and they get upset because they don't want to get, part with things. So it's tough. You have to handle it with care. Yeah.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah, sentimental things and emotionally attached things are tough.
They are.
Tough.
I understand it. I just don't have that attachment to things. It has to go. It has to go. Had my time. I liked it. No, it has to go. Yeah, it is what it is.
I have like this small box. I compressed everything to like a small box. But then I look at it and I'm like, why? Why have this?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the rule of thumb is when something in your basement or in the closet for over a year and you don't touch it, it's probably time to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you move 5 times in 10 years and you have boxes that you never opened, you probably want to get rid of that box.
It's funny, we moved from, it was a big house to another big house, and then now we're in a smaller house. So going from the big to small, we're like, oh my God, where are we going to put this? We pretty much basically took everything that was in the basement that was not touched in boxes from one house
to the other basement.
Put to the other one.
Right. I did the same thing. I downsized. So my current home, I have a corner of a basement that's full of things I have not touched in 3 years.
Yeah.
They're still there, but when I move, that stuff will be gone. Mm-hmm. Before I move again, that stuff will be gone because there's no need for it.
Do you have 2 Christmas trees like I do?
Well, I have a Christmas tree and a big Santa. I like my big Santa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It goes outside. You put
no, it's inside. There's a big, right next to my kitchen table. I talk to him at night. And stuff.
What? How big is Santa?
Yeah, it's about 5 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty good size Santa. Yeah.
You think Santa really is that tall in real life?
He has to be. Yeah, he can't be that much taller because he's going to fit down the chimney.
Right. Yeah. Duh.
He can't be more than 5 feet tall.
Wow.
I think the TV makes him look bigger, but in reality, he's a small guy.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And super strong.
I know him personally, too.
Yeah, he's in your kitchen.
I just moved him to Florida, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. He's in Florida. And you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, man. Awesome. So sometimes, I don't know if you work with an organizer, a home organizer, to come in and like help guide people on what to throw out and what to Or do you guys do that?
I don't have anybody exclusively that we work with, unfortunately. That's one of my goals, is to find somebody like that to work with exclusively. We can do it ourselves, but a lot of times I do defer to an organizer or a homemaker that can come in and label things and, sit with people, have more time to sit with them and organize and box things up. We can do it and we do a great job at it, but I'm not against working with somebody else who might do that for, even though we pack every day.
Yeah.
If you have someone who's organizing, who's holding someone's hand and, labeling every little thing, then we have no problem working with someone like that.
Yeah, they help people. Like, oh, put this in the box, put that in the trash, do that.
Right. When you have a neutral third party, they'll tell you what you need and don't need. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're saying you're helping people move to Florida.
Yes.
Who the hell's moving from Florida to Rhode Island?
Nobody.
Why is that?
The environment. There's no good employment here. The young kids are leaving. I think people, as we age, people are now moving down there in their 50s instead of waiting to the 65.
Yeah.
A lot of clients are in the early to mid 50s and they're saying, you know what, why are we here? I think the job market is a little bit better down there. It's more diverse. The weather obviously is better, more consistent. I like it down there too. I'm looking forward to moving down there in the near future, hopefully. It's just you feel better. It's sunny every day. It's quite a different place. Although we love Rhode Island too. When we get to talk about Rhode Island, we love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's great. But then you're like, today it's 60, tomorrow it's 90, then it's 20. And my old bones can't take it, much more of it.
Yeah, I know. January, February, March. Those 3 months are not fun.
I was watching the news the other day. The weather advertisement came on, and it was like, weather team 10, and they showed a snowstorm with plows, and I cringed.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know how many more of those I can take. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Me neither. It's not. So basically, everybody's moving from Rhode Island to Florida.
Yes, yeah. Carolinas are very popular. Georgia is popular, but not as much as the Carolinas. Florida is the most popular. Then the Carolinas equally are as popular, and then Georgia. Tennessee's getting a little more popular, but it's still Florida's the place to be.
Yeah, it's crazy because here, like the market here is a seller's market. You can't get enough listings.
Right.
But in Florida, it's the opposite.
I don't think it was, but it's getting there now.
Yeah.
Last time I was down there, they said it's more of a buyer's market. Prices are coming down. They're staying on the market longer. But you're still paying double what you were paying 10 years ago. But yes, it's coming down a little bit.
So people can sell their home here for a lot and go down there and get a nice bargain.
Exactly. So sell your house here, go down there and buy a house near the water.
Why the heck wouldn't someone want to move?
Exactly. And you have happy hour every day down there too. The happy hours are like all day long. so you can drink all day for half the price. So that's a plus too.
And they get stuff done there in Florida?
Very slowly, but they but they get things done.
Yeah, we're working on getting our brokerage license there, so that'll be a great connection. Because you're right.
We can partner up.
A lot of people, yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are moving Rhode Island to Florida, going there. That's crazy. All right, so the process, you're saying when you come into a house, you price it out and you take them through the whole pricing and the timeline of how everything's going to happen.
Yeah, so we try to give the client exactly what they need. So when you work with us, we're not a big national company. I want to say one client at a time, but sometimes it's two depending on how much they have. But we can have a 3-day turnaround. We can load someone up here on Monday and by Wednesday or Thursday have their belongings in Florida. Where other national companies, 2-3 weeks, it depends. They have to, they have to sub it out, drop it at a hub somewhere potentially. But we'll say if you need to be there by Thursday, we'll load up Monday morning, take off Monday afternoon, and Thursday morning we're knocking on your door with your things. So I think that's a plus. But some people who aren't in a rush, that doesn't affect them. But those people want to get down there quick, do the closing, not have to rent a hotel. We can be down there in about 3 days and give them their furniture.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and it always boggles my mind how we pack the truck so well. I mean, the roads, right? So we drive from here to Florida. There's bumps every other mile. There's bumps and bumps and bumps, and you get there and you open it up and nothing moves and everything's the way it should be. I'm like, wow, how does that happen?
TVs, mirrors,
everything. I just amazes myself because I'll go over a few bumps and I'm like, oh my God, everything's probably destroyed back there, and then you get there and no, it's perfectly fine. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you rent a truck and drop it off over there, or you drive that same truck back?
Yeah, we drive the same truck. Yeah.
Same truck back?
Yeah. The rentals, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about moving nowadays. When you give them a price over to Florida, a lot of people are shocked and they're like, oh my God, what are you, crazy? You're charging me $10,000, let's say. But just to rent a U-Haul one way to Florida is about $4,500. That's just to rent it. Then you have the fuel, the food, the hotels, the insurance for the rental, gas, food, hotel, you have to hire labor to load and unload, and it's insurance for the vehicle, also insurance for your furniture. So if you do it yourself, moving insurance doesn't cover you a lot, to be honest. However, if you do it yourself, there's no coverage. So if you're carrying your TV and you trip and fall, or you break a leg on the couch or something, you own it. And more often than not, you're doing it yourself or friends are helping you, something's going to happen, whether a chair breaks, whether a wall gets scratched, or, I mean, it can happen with anybody.
Yeah.
But we have pads that protect things. We have wall protection that we use, floor protection that we can use, where most people don't have that. So you slide a chair across your brand new hardwood floor, and now your friends helped you, but they're not going to replace that floor for you, you know? So it's a risk that they take. And it's not really that much cheaper than hiring a mover. You know,
so yeah, what I thought was you guys drive the truck there and like fly back on a plane.
Yeah, no, I wish. Get a big jumbo jet and put the truck right in the plane and fly back, maybe. That would work.
Is it more money gas and everything going back?
Yeah, well, it's about, for our trucks, about $1,500 in fuel to go both ways. But there's really no other solution other than having, you know, we get to the point where we have an office in Florida, then you can go back and forth as you need to more efficiently. But yeah, right now it's the most efficient way to do it. Drive down, drive back.
Wouldn't it be great, again, asking you if people move from Florida to Rhode Island, which that doesn't happen in real life. That would be cool. You're driving there, dropping off, picking up someone else, and then delivering.
Yeah, that's what ideally we'd love to do that, but 99% of the time we don't. So we are getting into, because we have enclosed trailers and trucks, so we can move cars back. So several times I'll go down there with furniture, then I'll take someone's car back, and it's, you know, $1,000-ish, give or take, depending on the season. So we can make a little bit of money by doing that.
Cool.
Yeah, fill the truck. I was thinking about maybe investing and buying things down there that you can resell here. A friend of mine said you should buy, in the summer, buy palm trees, bring them up here and sell them for the season to restaurants. And I'm like, you know what, if we can find a way to keep them alive for 2 days in the truck, I might think about that. Right? Come on, fresh palm trees for sale. They probably last a few months.
Put that in the house, though. Keep it warm in there with the sun. I don't know how you get sun in there, but one of those lamps.
We have to figure it out.
Yeah, I love palm trees. They're awesome. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, because we're recommending, as realtors, we're recommending a moving company to move people's furniture, move them out, move them in. And that relationship has to be a lot of trust from both, because our reputation for recommending someone is important.
Absolutely.
So again, you reach out to real estate agents and try to get them to refer you.
Right.
So how do you get them to trust you and know?
Well, I think it starts off with being a real person when you meet somebody and letting them know who you are and trust who you are at the get-go. Give them a good feeling about where you're coming from and how trustworthy you are. I don't BS people. I don't overpromise. Just, who we are, and I'll tell you what we can do. And I also don't know what I don't know, and I will let people know if I don't know an answer to something. I think honesty is the best policy with that. But then you have to perform. I mean, there are, like I said, if you're having a closing and the mover doesn't show up, everybody's in trouble. So nobody gets their commission. Nobody gets paid.
That happens in the industry?
It does. It does. There are a couple companies out there that are notorious for it, and people are always calling up saying, "Oh, my mover didn't show up." I'm like, "Let me guess," and they're like, "Yeah." So, again, it comes down to anything else. You get what you pay for. A lot of people are like, "Well, you're too expensive. I'm going to go with the generic company," and you might luckily get a good experience with that company on any given day, but the chances are something's going to happen. So, we try our best to accommodate people at that point. But then, again, if you're a realtor who's calling me at the last minute, it's 8 o'clock on a Friday morning. "Hey, Brian, can you help me out?" I'm like, "Well, why didn't you refer me 2 weeks ago?"
Yeah.
So, and again, I know they have other things, and I don't, that nobody has an obligation to refer us. But when you come into those situations, this is why you should refer us, because we would have been there and it would have been taken care of, and your headache would have been gone. So I think it's very important to have a good relationship with people.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know that happens. They don't show up. And do they take like a deposit?
A lot of people do it. It's probably the right thing to do. I don't. I haven't taken deposits. Again, I believe in trust. If you're going to trust me to come into your home and move your personal items, I'm going to trust that you're going to pay me. And if you don't, I know where you live. So eventually we'll get paid, but I don't take deposits because people get nervous. A lot of times closings change, things change. That's beyond the client's control, and they get all nervous that they're not going to get the deposit back, whatever. And we try to be very flexible, and we ask the clients to be flexible as well. Maybe someday I can't get there till 10 in the morning and not 8. Be flexible with us, and we'll be flexible with you at the same time.
Yeah.
So
it's really tough. I mean, it's super stressful for the person moving. All their stuff getting picked up, moved, has to happen that day. And then for these moving companies to not show up, that adds so much stress.
Absolutely.
To already added stress to what's going on. So yeah, having a reliable company to go with and reputation. It's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like the other moving companies, their reputation is they don't show up sometimes. That's their reputation. It's stuck with them.
Yep.
Like, everybody knows that name.
Right.
So yeah, that's important. It's good to have a good team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So any other things that I missed, or
I love cornhole. You didn't ask me about that. Cornhole.
Yeah.
Me and my crutch, I'll be
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I just played over the weekend and I won 15 games in a row.
Jeez.
I'm very competitive.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really tough game.
It's fun. It reminds me of golf to a certain degree because if you have a routine of throwing, it's the same distance, same bag.
Yeah.
One time you throw it perfectly, the next time you can't even hit the board. And you start, why can't I do the same motion every single time? And you just can't.
It's
same
mental.
Same thing with golf, right? You hit a great shot, you're like, oh, I think I have this spot down pat. And the next shot, you can't even hit the ball. You're like, how can that be? And I can't play golf anymore. So cornhole is my next best thing why can't I get it in the hole every single time? If I can do it once in a while, why can't you do it every time, right? Same stroke, same position, right? Same posture. And it just goes a different way. Like what is that? So it's challenging, but it's fun in the same token.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my go-to is cornhole right now.
That's awesome. All right. So if I see you playing cornhole, I won't play against you.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know.
You
if
play
you
with
want
me. You play with me.
I don't know if you want me on your team though. So.
Are you not good? I'd have to carry you. I mean, 2 people. Remember, I have to carry 2 people. I can do that.
So let's talk about the handcuff. So you handcuffed a lot of people?
Yeah, my 7-year tenure, I handcuffed quite a bit of people.
What was that? Let's go back to your past. What'd you do before?
I'm a former police officer.
Awesome.
I was a police officer from 95 to 2001-ish. Yeah, so 6.5, 7 years. Yeah.
So you handcuffed people?
I did. It was fun.
Bad, it was naughty fun. People.
And I used to get a kick out of some of them that could actually get the handcuffs out from underneath them.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, but look, I would be amazed. I'd be mad, but then I'd laugh and be like, how did you do that? Yeah, a lot of people can do that, believe it or not.
Wow. But not the, breaking their...
Oh, that thumb to get... No, I've never seen anybody
that's
get out
some
of...
CIA stuff.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I mean, people can do that, too, the way they dislocate their fingers or something. But they have that, they hide the toothpick in their teeth and they pick nuts. Only in the movies. But yeah, people actually can slide that stuff under and, either open the door and run or whatever they do.
Wow.
And sometimes, we would watch them do it. We're like, well, I don't know what they think they're doing because we're standing right here. They can't run. And so we just sit there and watch them taking off their hand, sliding the handcuffs. So we're like, all right, now what are you going to do? You're still stuck in the car.
Wow. Yeah, I bet so many stories. So why'd you get into moving? How'd you get into that?
Oh, the moving has been in my family for generations. My grandfather, my father, cousins, have a nephew that does it now. And yeah, it's just the family tradition, doing it. I grew up doing it. And when I was a kid, it's funny the way people look at work now. When I was a young kid, 16, 17, I'm getting paid to exercise, right? So exercising all day, meeting new people. I'm not an office guy, so I was traveling the state. I learned just about everywhere in the state, how to get there. Like, again, met new people and got paid to exercise. So I was like, what's better than this? So I really liked it. I enjoyed it. So I try to promote that to the kids that work, guys that work for us now. It's like, hey, you can be miserable going to work, or you can go to work and play a little bit of music in the truck and have fun and laugh and get some exercise, And it's different exercise than going to the gym because you're working all different muscles and, you're getting cardiovascular, you're getting a muscle workout, you're basically stretching because you're bending over and doing things. And as long as you use the right techniques, it's a great workout. That's the way I always looked at it. So
I had an attorney in here. Okay. And I asked them for the 2 minutes. I said, you pick any job in the world or any business. What would you do? Moving company.
Really?
I'd help move. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. I would do that too because I would be fit, be able to run around. So there you go.
That's all how you look at it, right? It's all perspective.
An attorney.
Well, think about it. We always want what we don't have, right? So I'd like to be an attorney sometime and charge $500 an hour and sit behind a desk and not sweat. But then you want to get up and do something, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of stress. Attorney. So, Brian,
Camille,
thank you very much
You're welcome.
for stopping by. How do people find you?
Find me at Crum Relocation. My phone number is 401-500-2925. We're also on Facebook and Instagram with crumrelo.com is our website, and brian@crumrelo.com is my email.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks very much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so thank you.